this is Patty with Get Balanced 2020, and today is Fitness Friday. So hopefully you have watched Mindful Monday and Nutrition Wednesday this week, because they had some really good tips on that, especially visual aids and nutrition label reading and all that kind of stuff. But today we are Fitness Friday. So if you have never watched any of my videos before and it's your first time, so what Get Balanced 2020 is we put our mind, spirit, and body together for a balanced, positive lifestyle. Now, in order to do that, you have to have all three elements. If you take one away, how can we have balance? We really can't. So it is all about your mind, how your thought process goes, your spirit, and how you put your mind and spirit together. I put those first because those are the most important. If you go back through my about, or if you go to my web page, you can hear about and why mind and spirit are so important to weight loss. I used to bodybuild and personally train, and talking and figuring things out, you'll understand. If you read my book, you'll be able to understand that as well. But you can go to the website, getbalance2020.com. You can go on YouTube and look at the videos from there. You can start from the very beginning in January and go through, or you can actually go on Facebook, become one of my friends on Facebook, and you can get up-to-date information, some inspirational quotes and all that kind of stuff. I like to play around with that. So would love to have you on my Facebook or on my website, and then also too on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe if you can on YouTube. So with that all out of the way, basically we are on Fitness Friday. Tomorrow is Spiritual Saturday. And today we are going to talk about target heart rate, what is a resting heart rate, what your goals are, where you should be as far as your heart rate, so that you can get the most benefit from it. Now, if you have a Fitbit, or if you have one of the Apple things for your health, sometimes you'll be able to get your target heart rate on those with it, which is really, really nice. Otherwise, we're going to show you how to do it manually, because not everybody has those nice little toys. So basically what I'm going to talk about first is your resting heart rate. Now, why is that important? Because, well, that's what they take at the doctor to see where your heart is. As far as, is it racing? Is it just, slow? Are you nervous? And that can sort of tell a lot of what's going on there. And then what we're going to do is tell you how to do the target heart rate. So how do you take a resting heart rate? Well, there's a couple of different ways, but the idea is to take it while you're resting. So the best time to take that is when you're in bed. In the morning when you wake up, which is hard to do because if you're like me, I forget. It's like, oh crap, I should have did that when I got up. But basically you take it when you get out, before you get out of bed. Now, if you have a Fitbit and all those, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you get your phone and put it on the stopwatch, get it ready, and then what you're going to do is you're going to just make sure that your arm is resting. You're going to try to, you're in the center of your wrist here, you've got that little indent. You're going to try to find your heartbeat right next to that. Now you want to use either your two fingers in the center. Do not use your thumb, because your thumb actually has a pulse and it's going to screw you up. So just gently, don't push down like you're going to cut your circulation off. Just real gently put it there and just lay there and try to find it. And when you find it, then you know that you've hit the spot. So you get your stopwatch out, and you're going to time for, you could do it for a whole minute, but who wants to sit there for a whole minute and count? So you do it for 15 seconds. So normal resting heart rate is 45 seconds to 60 seconds, or 60 beats per minute. So 45 to 60 beats per minute. So what you're going to do is you're going to count for 15 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then at 15 seconds, stop. Take that number and times it by 4, because there's 4 little sections in a minute. So every 15 seconds. Boop. So you times that by 4 and you write that number down. Now you're supposed to be keeping a log, so you should be writing that down in your log. Get up, write it down. Okay, so we're going to go back to that. All right, so that is a resting heart rate. And again, if you're in good health, or you're not all stressed out or nervous, it should be between 45 and 60 beats per minute. Now, some of you have my book out there. This is an old book that I wrote back in the 90s, but it actually has some good information in it. If you don't, I'm actually going to put this page up on the weekend so that you can have those notes and stuff. But so on page 60, for those of you that have it, and I'm going to show you here. So if you want to take a screenshot and come back to this, you're going to see there's two ways to do target heart rate here. Okay, you're looking at a 60% or you're looking at an 80%. So when you're going to start out, we're going to do the 60%. Okay, so what you're going to want to do on yours, you find that resting heart rate and you put that number off to the side. So what you're going to do, and if you can read those, I don't know if I can read them at the same time. See that? So we are going to subtract your age from 220. Don't ask me why, just subtract from the 220. So, and that's going to equal your maximum target heart rate right here. And then we're going to subtract that number, the resting heart rate that you just got, say you got 50, you're going to take that 50 number and subtract it from there. And that's going to give you an equal here. Okay. And then you're going to take that number that you just came up with and you're going to multiply by 0.60 on your calculator. Unless you know how to do the percent, and I'm just trying to make it easy for those who don't do math or don't like to do math. Just take that number times 0.60. And that's going to give you this number here. Okay? So then on the very bottom, you're going to add your resting heart rate back in. Okay? And then this is where your fat burning zone is. This is the number. This bottom number is what you need to keep. So the reason we want to stay in that zone is we want to be able to, if you're trying to lose weight, burn fat. Now, if you're just trying to maintain, then that's cool. This is just for these women that want to try to lose a little bit of that body fat. And you know what? I use the word fat. I don't even think of fat as a negative thing. Once you start working out and looking at your body differently, fat is a good thing for a body. We all need a certain amount of fat in our body. So please don't get offended when I use that word, because it's just anatomy. It's part of the anatomy. But the target heart rate, we want to stay there because basically that is our area that we burn fat efficiently. So we don't want to go on the low end. We don't want to be working our buns off so much we can't even have a breath. And so when we do that target heart rate, and I wanted to go back and say too, when you're starting out and when I post that, go for the 60% because you're beginning, and not the 80 because you don't really need to work that hard. Your body will get used to it. Now when you want to switch up and you start plateauing, which we can talk about next time, is that you do want to do something and bump it up or change the thing because your body's used to it. So, but when we do that target heart rate, we want to go low, or we don't want to go in the low zone because then we're not burning our fuel efficiently and we're not burning the fat like we need to be. So then if we're working too hard, then we're actually burning muscle rather than the fat. So this is why a target heart rate or in the zone is so very, very important. Now you're telling me, okay, so how am I going to know I'm in the target heart rate zone while I'm working out? Well, some people do stop for a second and take their heart rate within that 15 seconds. You got to be fast because your heart rate already begins to start dropping. And you're like, well, can I do it while I'm working out? Well, you can try. And if you're trying to work out and you're doing the timing and you're going to sit there. So you can do it that way if you want. And people will start looking at you and they'll wonder what the heck if you're having a spasm or something. But anyway, you can do it that way. This is not rocket science, and this is not, I gotta do it this way, and I gotta make sure it's this way. And don't be perfect. I mean, this is silly. I mean, it's just a gauge. This is a gauge. Now, the other way that you could do it is just through your breath. If you're working out on the treadmill and you're walking at a really good pace, you should be able to keep 2 sentences before your next breath. And if you can't do that, then you're either working out too hard or you're not working out hard enough. Maybe you can carry on a whole paragraph. Well, start working out a little bit harder. So that's another gauge. So you'll want to do that. And you're going to do it for the first couple, maybe a week, and then you're going to realize, okay, now I know how hard I should be working. It's sort of like your body gets used to it, and your brain's like, okay, now I'm working too hard. Now I'm working hard enough. I'm not working. And so your body gets used to it. So listen to your body, what it's doing. Listen. And listen to how you're breathing, listen to how you're moving, listen to everything that you're doing. And before you know, like the food on Wednesday, the visuals for the food, visuals are really, really important. Listening to our body and seeing how we're reacting to exercise is so important. Then you won't need to do all this target heart rate. Maybe in 3 months or so, you'll want to redo it and see if you're actually dropping your heart rate. So, okay, here's, when you are done working out, your heart rate should begin to go down. And it actually should begin to drop very quickly. If you're really healthy, it will drop very fast. If you're not so healthy, it's going to take a while too. And that's why I talk about cool downs are so important. So you need to get that heart rate to be able to drop faster. So most athletes can just go from, like you see the marathon runners, yeah, they're really out of breath when they just get done, but it doesn't take long and they're walking and they're doing okay. Whereas if you've got somebody completely out of shape, they're going to be huffing and a puffing and a huffing and a puffing and huffing and puffing for a few minutes, and then maybe then it'll begin to slow down. So it all depends on how consistent you are with your workout to get that heart rate to drop it where you want it to be. Hopefully I haven't confused you completely on heart rates. If you need me to go through it again, please do so. If you are on my website, I am going to post this page from my book on the website, so you don't need to go buy my book. Yeah, I will do that from time to time because it is an older book. Way back in the day when I wrote it, fat burning and non-fat, low-fat was really the fad back then, but there's a lot of good key elements in there, not only for exercise but diet, but also mind and spirit, because when you're losing weight, ladies, it's not about the weight, it's not about the scale, it's about what's in here and what's in here that's broken, that needs to be fixed so you can keep it off. So you can keep it off, because if we're not down to the core problems, our psychological problem that we're holding on to this weight, or we're eating, we're not going to drop the weight. And we'll drop it, but then we're going to end up yo-yo, and that is so bad for our hearts. So when you want, go ahead on Mindful Monday and Spiritual Saturday and start putting those two. If I can tell you anything about my videos, is put those two together first, and the rest, the fitness comes and the nutrition comes as well. But the mind and the core and the spirit is the number one thing I found out through all the years of training, education, that nobody talks about and nobody gets down to on all these weight management and all. It's getting to the core of the issue, the brokenness that needs to be fixed before you can actually stay whole, mind, body, and spirit. It was good talking to you today, and I thank you for coming on Fitness Friday. Don't forget to go on the website this weekend and check out the postings that I have. I do updates. Go to the archive page. Give me some feedback. I would love to hear your questions and comments. And then we will see you on Spiritual Saturday, which is tomorrow. All right, you guys have a great weekend. I can't get